Could the son of one of the greatest NFL players of all time end up wearing the old gold and blue? Stay tuned, and I'll tell you what I'm talking about. What is up, college sports fans, fellow members of Mountaineer Nation? This is Coos. I'm coming to you once again from the hills of wild and wonderful, almost heaven, West Virginia, and this is Coos' Corner. Thanks for stopping in. Before I get on with the show, I want to ask if you haven't yet, please hit the red subscribe button. It's free to do so. Please give me the thumbs up if you like the video. Please check out the Coast to Coast CFB network. I'm proud to be a part of that with several other creators. We have our first live stream tonight, Monday, January 3rd. Be sure to check it out. It's at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. Central. It's going to be streaming every Monday night on Facebook. So be on the lookout for that. Now let's get on with the show. As we all know, Winston Wright Jr. has entered his name into the transfer portal. He was the best statistical receiver on the season for West Virginia. It's going to be a big loss. He was also our leading kickoff returner. And Isaiah Esdale had put his name in the portal previously in the offseason, just after the regular season was over. So we have two vacancies to fill in that room. And the coaching staff was already planning to go after some guys in the portal. But now I'm sure they're going to get even more aggressive with Winston Wright Jr. unexpectedly leaving the team. And there's been rumblings that there could be more receivers to follow. So, who are the receivers in the portal that could be a fit for West Virginia, and who might they go after? I'm going to give you a list of guys who are potential candidates for that job. One of them is the son of an NFL great. I'll tell you who that is in a minute. And as I read this list off, and as I get to the end of this list, I want you to tell me in the comment section what you think about these guys. Is there one of these guys that you would like to see land at WVU? Is there someone else that I'm missing that's not on this list that you'd like to see come to WVU? Let me know in the comments. I want to get your opinion. Let's go down the list. Now, most of these guys came from a list that Chris Anderson at 247 Sports came up with. He's a West Virginia beat writer for them. Let's start off with a guy named Taj Harris. Taj Harris is in the portal from Syracuse. He hails from the state of New Jersey. In the 2021 season, he had 16 catches for 171 yards, but he only played 3 games for the Orange in 2021. For whatever reason, he decided to leave the team after 3 games. He has 2 years of eligibility remaining. As a freshman in 2018, Harris had 40 catches for 565 yards. And overall in his career at Syracuse, he has over 2,000 yards and 10 touchdowns. Then you've got Jadan Blue, who's transferring over from Temple University. He's also from the state of New Jersey. We all know that West Virginia loves to recruit the state of New Jersey, the New York, New Jersey area. Jadan Blue only has 1 year of eligibility. In 2019, he caught 95 balls, 1,067 yards, and 4 touchdowns for the Owls. Great season. 2021, his production fell a little bit. Only had 30 catches for 185 yards and a touchdown. The West Virginia connection there, though, is Jadan Blue was teammates of Sean Ryan. We all remember Sean Ryan had a good year for us this year. Has been a receiver at West Virginia now for 3 seasons. He transferred over from Temple himself. And those two guys were teammates in 2018 at Temple. So maybe Ryan can help get Blue to Morgantown if he's a guy that WVU really wants. Based on the season he had in 2019, looks like he could really be a good receiver for West Virginia. And what I like about him, he's only got 1 year of eligibility, so he would basically fill the spot Winston Wright was going to fill, and then they could go out and get some more younger guys as well. Then you've got Michael Mathison. He's transferring from Akron. He's from the state of Georgia, and we all know West Virginia's been hitting the state of Georgia really hard in recruiting. 2021, Mathison had 56 catches, 706 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Mathison has 2 years of eligibility remaining, plus a redshirt year, so he could actually come in and redshirt a year if needed. And just to show you how good Mathison is, he's also being recruited by Virginia Tech, Nebraska, and several other schools. This guy's very intriguing. Jalyn Witcher. He's from the SCS level at Presbyterian College. He's only played 1 year there, so he'd come in as a sophomore, but would have 3 years of eligibility remaining and could still redshirt a year because he played as a true freshman at Presbyterian. Now here's the numbers he put up as a true freshman. 80 catches, 1,120 yards, and 12 touchdowns. Now I know it was at the FCS level, but as a true freshman, those are astounding numbers as a true freshman. I don't care what level of football you're on. That kid is extremely talented. He played 1 year, put up those numbers, and decided, hey, as soon as the season was over, he put his name in the portal because I think he's got aspirations of playing for a larger program potentially even a Power 5 program with those kind of numbers. Now, the kid that's the son of an NFL Hall of Famer, an NFL star, a name everybody that watches football knows. We all know Jerry Rice, right? Most people say that Jerry Rice is the greatest wide receiver to ever lace up a pair of cleats. Holds most NFL records. A lot of them may never be broken. Well, he has a son named Brenden Rice, who played 2 years at the University of Colorado, who is now in the transfer portal, went into the portal on January the 1st, on New Year's Day. His stats for the 2021 season: 21 catches, 299 yards, 3 touchdowns. He also had 17 kickoff returns for 469 yards. So he's not only lethal catching passes, he's also really good returning kicks. And with Winston Wright leaving, that's a spot we need to fill. So is that somebody that West Virginia goes after? He has 3 years of eligibility running because of last year being a COVID year. Even though he played, we all know that everybody that played in 2020 gets that extra year of eligibility. So he's actually got 3 years left. Brenden Rice was highly recruited coming out of high school. He chose to go to Colorado and play for, at the time, Mel Tucker. Well, now that Mel Tucker is not there anymore, I guess he played 1 season under the new regime and decided to leave. But here's the interesting piece to this story. Yes, he's all the way from out west. He hails from Arizona. He was high school teammates with none other than Nicco Marchiol, the star quarterback that West Virginia just recruited, who just signed in December. He was a high school teammate of his senior year at Hamilton High School in Arizona. And we all know Nicco has been recruiting guys to come to WVU. He's been a key factor in trying to get guys to come with him. Will Nicco pick up that phone and give Brenden Rice a call and say, "Hey, Brenden, bring your game to Morgantown, baby. We're going to make some noise"? Let's really hope so. Brenden Rice's best game of his career was against Oregon this season. He had over 100 yards receiving in that game. Had a really productive game. That really scares me because Oregon was hot after him out of high school as well. And him already being out west, I feel like Oregon probably has the upper hand on Landon Rice. But I really hope that Nicco can get in his ear, convince him to come to Morgantown, because those two guys could really, really create problems for opposing defenses. In Morgantown, he would fill not only a receiver spot, but also potentially the kick returner spot, and potentially be a really good replacement for Winston Wright Jr. Now, of all these guys I listed, who do I think would be the most likely candidate to come to Morgantown? I would probably rate it. I'd probably put Michael Mathison from Akron as my number one choice. Not that I want, but number one most likely, because West Virginia, my understanding, is already after this kid. They've already been making calls about him. And then I would probably put Jadan Blue out of Temple as my number 2 choice because of his connection with Sean Ryan there. As far as the other guys, I really don't know enough about them. I don't know what kind of recruiting presence West Virginia has in the state of Arkansas to be able to go get Jalyn Witcher. I know they do have a presence in the New York, New Jersey market, so I feel like Taj Harris would be a really good. I would probably put him at 3 on my list of possible candidates. I really think the Rice kid, even though I'd love to have him, I put him as low on the list because I just don't see him. I just don't see him coming all the way to West Virginia when he could go somewhere like Oregon. Maybe playing for Dan Lanning really excites him. We'll see. Don't know what kind of relationship he has with Nicco, but let's hope. Let's just hope Nicco can use his influence and get Brenden Rice to Morgantown. That'd be a great story. Well, listen, I hope you liked the video. If you did, give me the thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to check out the Coast to Coast CFB Network. Keep an eye out for us on Facebook and on Twitter. Me and my broadcast partners, JPC, College Football with Jonathan Lewis, Aaron Parks from Enough Said Sports, Coach Bull Jones, and JPC is from that I mentioned earlier. He's the Outlaw College Football. All those guys have their own channels. Please subscribe to them. Check us out. Like I said, we're going to do a live stream every Monday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Tune into that. I appreciate you tuning into this video. Q Country Roads.